Good morning. Happy Friday. Well, it's been a week of running in place, basically going nowhere. I mean, we've had a couple of okay day trades, some other trades, some not so great, whatever. But, you know, we've got markets here over the last 5 days. Just look at this. We get the little tails and bars and whatever. I mean, little gap down and kind of, you can see right here. Let's just change that color. A little dip down there and now heading back up, and who knows? Now the question is whether can we get a second red day? I mean, looking at the futures, we see some larger red days because it's 24 hours. But if we go to the Qs, there's like no red days, little tiny red days doing nothing. So 2 red days in a row that actually follow through? No. Well, kind of, but a bottoming tail. No, bottoming tail. Maybe is today the day that we get a second red bar that closes below a prior red bar's low. That doesn't change the trend, but it would be the start of something that's different than over the last month and a half or so. So that's something that we will see how the day ends. As far as that goes, that gives us some indication. I guess, coming next week, more trade talk, jargon, and who knows what. Anyway, we know markets are at resistance, 200 MA here. The fact that internals, which we have talked about already, right? And they inched up even a little further yesterday up into that ultimate or static level of the 0.80. It doesn't always get there, and that's why I've created these bands here to kind of adjust for different markets. We talked yesterday about the fact that we've gotten these lower highs, so there has been some corrective action within the markets. I've got Facebook up here, but it's kind of irrelevant as it goes to market internals, but it is a little bit of what's happened as far as, things going up and some corrective action here. So yesterday it looked like, well, we talked about it pre-market. No one asked about shorting it. And it was sideways on the hourly, and the 5-minute was at support, and eventually it did give up and went lower with the Twitter short, which I got a good profit out of it. I was a little early. Some in the room hung on and did much better. Congratulations with that. And so let's see where the rest of these markets are going. Okay. And let's look at the S&Ps. Same story, right? That's getting kind of old in reality as to what's going on here and everything. Now price resistance. This is above the 200. It's stalled. Looking at the last 5 days, the market has done absolutely nothing. I certainly can look at copper. COPX is the ETF. I don't follow it on the futures. What is the symbol for the futures? Not sure I'm going to have that. HG. No, I did that wrong. HG. Nice.
Call from Poinciana LLC.
Okay. Look at this. Look at this. So I saw a nice move up, and makes me think, well, it was just clearing the 200, so it had to be in a downtrend or bottoming. And so I went to look at the weekly chart, and I found a nice pattern here. And we've got a retest of a wide range bar. This was in a downtrend. This is typically one you put on a watch list. You don't buy it, because often this is exactly what it did. And what's beautiful about this, it broke the lows and then formed a bottoming tail bar. So our approach to using candlesticks, and I'm not talking to Alex because he very well knows, but those that are new to the room, those of you that are listening on YouTube, our approach to candlesticks is not one to say, oh, this is a head and not a head and shoulders. This is a Harami or a dark cloud cover or a shooting star or any of those names. We don't care about that. We read the footprints of money. We look at pictures, right, charts, and we use what I call bar by bar analysis, which is to say simply, you take these individual bars and now you put them together, kind of like building blocks, as to say, if I put these building blocks together and say, in this case, do those building blocks build a foundation? And they do. So what do in these individual candles mean? Well, day traders didn't create that candle, giant wide range bar like that. Individuals and institutions can sell at the low of a move, right? No one knows exactly what the low of a move is until it's the low of the move is, done 2020 hindsight. And now on that retest, huge buying came in. I don't know what's to the left here, but maybe there's big support. Now, it tried to turn around. It broke out, it gapped up, and came right back down again. That's called a bottoming process. How do we know that it actually bottomed? We don't. It may have been building an area to go down, but now we know it did build a bottom. Because as we put these individual pieces together and this bottoming tail that cleared that low like that, said buyers stepped up and said, hey, it's cheap here. Right? It's on sale. Go get it. And they did. And now it's run up and it's cleared what was new resistance that was created, and it closed above it with a wide range bar. And now those of you that have asked in the room, what's a void? Well, here's a perfect picture of a void, a momentum move lower, a correction over time. And now there's nothing in this area to stop it from going up. Theoretically, we have a concept called creating resistance, which it can do on the way up that could stall prices. In any event, it has a void. And if you're saying, what about this, Greg? This is a subjective reference point, and we have rules for that. And the rule says if it's traded above and below, it's been neutralized. This is a void. This is an awesome pattern suggesting that prices could go higher. Now go down to your daily time frame and look for a pattern in alignment that gives you a way to get on board. Okay. And there you've had a master trader technical strategies short lesson on bar by bar analysis, candlesticks, and voids and trends. And those of you on YouTube, you got all of that for just logging in. That was worth the price of admission, wasn't it? Ha ha. Okay, let's keep going. Nice find, Alex. And so we looked at the cues, right? Sideways going nowhere. Dow, sideways going nowhere. Look at all the closes. We had a little bout of selling, but it's still in the upper part of the wide range bar at resistance. So while sellers are coming in, so are the buyers. They're saying, hey, I'll take it. You don't want it, I'll take it. And the sellers are saying, well, here you go. Let's see who's going to win. And so as far as the market goes, probability is that it rolls over. So look at the weekly chart, but it ain't doing it yet. So is it going to happen today? Well, we'll all know by the end of the day, but look at this weekly bar right now in comparison to last week's weekly bar. Wide range bar possibly ending at resistance, and the breaks went on, right? So here, the market is now doing 110 miles an hour, and it just hit the wall. Screeching stall in the momentum. Is this going to be in candlestick terms a deadly doji? No, I don't care what the name is. I know momentum is stalled at resistance. Now we'll see next week if it goes down. If it goes down next week, shorts should be like shooting fish in a barrel. So stay tuned for that. Bonds up here today, but can't get out of this range. Well, we'll see which way it goes. Let's bring the alarm and alert areas up and down. And oil continues to do well. We had this, we explained yesterday and maybe even the day before, what was a weekly buy, a sell setup has now turned into a potential, and it's on the way. The pattern is all there, a measured move higher. And that says oil stocks should go higher. So that, we'll go through that. And we talked about Schlumberger yesterday, which kind of started breaking out and it came back in again. So there's some uncertainty. Maybe there's better out there. There's one I started to look at. Is that this one? This one looks pretty good. I'd like to get that one on a pullback. So there'll be others that we'll check out. Gold up a little bit, but had a little crack in a and we'll see. This is a little bit of a sell setup there. It hasn't broken its major support, but a wide range bar up, topping tail, wide range bar down. That has some candlestick name that's bearish. Long forgot what it is. In any event, we look at things through the eyes of retracements. And this move up, which was a momentum move in a smaller time frame, which I'll show you what that is. Let's see if we can scroll back to that. That's the one down. So I kind of scrunched that up, but you get the idea. This is that move up, and you can see this is the wide range bar, which creates a void underneath. So this is why we say a wide range bar, prices should stay in the upper half and ideally the upper third and build support. So when we talk about a 1, 2, 3 pattern, 1, 2, right? Ideally 2 isn't a topping tail. So this is 1. This is 2, where it's going sideways, building support. Sometimes you get another day, and then it goes higher. It doesn't go down. So now this becomes short-term bearish when it's at support. And with that being said, I think I'm going to hand this over to Dan Gibby.
All righty. Good morning. You're in a nice little lesson mode this morning.
I'll enjoy it.
All right. I was just, adjusting opens again like I do every morning, same process every day. Our little Delphi here gapping up, so I tighten the stop right under this 15-minute pivot, which will guarantee a, winning trade. So those are, trade management's easy when it's working. So that's an open trade. We have a covered call. Tandem, we have a covered call. Earnings next week. We lagged into the $51 calls for next week. Insight never triggered, but it's still fine over the highs. X, we have a covered call. We'll let it get a sign today at the short strike. J&J, we lagged into a covered call on the bounce yesterday as an adjustment strategy. Out, OUT, we're long stock. TJX, long stock. KMB, we sold a third yesterday into strength and tightened the stop. Urban, we're not in, but it's a go. Under the lows there is a new short setup. ITW, we have a put spread on the bullish 1, 2, 3, 4 yesterday. BRC, we're long stock on that bearish gap down, negated, engulfing to all-time highs. Tesla, we have a call spread for next week, and I tighten the stop to right over this wide range red bar. TNET is on my watch list here, has a 1, 2, 3, 4. TTWO, we shorted stock yesterday, and then, you know, when it started bouncing into the close, we shorted a put that expires today to leg into a covered put, and I just posted STMP a bit weaker. That's an understatement. 55% haircut. We'll look at that in a moment. But we're going to sell more puts on this over a 5-minute high. We'll sell the ones for next week. GME, we shorted stock and it's bouncing around here pre-market. So I 5-minute high. Let's sell the $11 puts for next week. Here, I'll post it right now. I have it ready. All right, here we go. Continuing, IYT, we did a half lot of a bear call spread, VLRS. I just posted this as a new trade. Beautiful 1, 2, 3 false breakdown. You know, I know weekly's extended, but it consolidated over time, and big old W retest pattern on the monthly. Mighty Mo, Greg mentioned this as a 1, 2, 3. We'll keep an eye on that. And I think that's it. Oh, Michael Jackson, we have a put spread for March, and that's fine. And that's it. Some gappers here. 55 bucks. It's a bullish gap, but you know, it's just not an ideal entry. Remember, we were stalking it right around here. Beat 69.42. All right, that's a bearish gap, but I don't like all these sideways football players. I prefer it to be a vertical up, a price void. CPB, I think it's just falling in sympathy with Kraft. Whiskey. Now this was one we tried buying as a pre-earnings run on bullish consolidation. And, you know, it closed with a topping tail, so we tightened the stop, and now it's gapping up huge. But there's no pattern at all. Alpha November had earnings, AutoNation 36.50. That's a bearish gap. That's a 30-minute low watch. Kraft here is just getting its clock cleaned. Wow. Wow. I didn't know. Oh, it's Kraft Heinz. So I guess, I don't know the history of this. I know they merged because Kraft and Heinz, but I guess I don't know why they gave it a new symbol. But this is gapping down to all-time lows. Hey, Robert. Yeah, on Kraft. It was in the journal today. EXAS, nothing to do. Fleur, nothing. These are earning stocks. Fizzler was gapping down, now filling the gap. Nothing. HPE, nothing. ED, wide range bar out of a base. That's a put spread candidate. Here's the disaster du jour. 90. Wow. Wow. I mean, it still has room to fall. It could go to 75 bucks. That is a nasty gap, but I just can't short things that are down 55%. But I posted in Facebook just, the pre-market quote or what it was trading at, down 52.5%. And I said that the options market priced in an $18 move. So, those people who just mechanically say options are overpriced, so just sell them into earnings, and the expected move is typically less, whether that's true